I was really nervous. I was thinking that maybe they wouldn't want to hear my story, or that it wouldn't have any kind of impact, or that an officer would come up to me and be like, yo, you're just a cop hater. Both my mom and my brother were both diagnosed with mental health challenges. Get to the door, I hear yelling, I hear screaming, so I already know before I get in there's a bad situation. I have what I call the typical ethnic concept. I'm scared. I'm like, I call the cops. When they come, someone's gonna get hurt. Someone may get shot, someone's going to jail. So I'm freaking out because I don't want nothing to happen to my little brother. Even though you're doing something that you know the society needs, you need to get rid of some of those boundaries.
Family members, consumers have been a part of crisis intervention training from the very beginning. Behavioral health care for Alameda County really felt the need for hearing the voices of the consumers and the families with a lived experience with a psychiatric emergency.
I started having delusions and ended up being homeless. Sometimes they don't know how to approach us. Maybe the body language is intimidating or fearful for me, and I may react to that, and then they may react to that. For them to see me in recovery, it's very powerful.
I like our chart here at the bottom that shows we were able to train 433 officers and 82 dispatchers.
CIT provides this rare opportunity where you have so many people from so many different silos coming together. Everyone from law enforcement to educators to public health workers and the community themselves.
How many people are not calling because they don't have that collaboration with the police department? I know a lot of people.
Here in Alameda County, our CIT program is a 38-hour program. It has 18 modules.
Problem is if you use too much command presence with the wrong person. In terms of just strictly liability, it is now crystal clear that we cannot use a cookie cutter approach to people, especially if we know or reasonably believe they are mentally ill. They're saying more and more that we want you to do something different other than just show me your hands, put it down, bang, bang.
We are trying to create the most competent officers to go out into the community and help to safely solve folks' problems. It's exciting to think that we're moving in a direction that is going to be more compassionate and more effective for everyone involved.
We do a lot of tracking of how officers feel and what they've learned, and we just finished a longitudinal study and found that officers, even 2 years after taking CIT, are still using these tools when they go out to calls. To date, we have trained 14 departments in Alameda County alone. I'm really excited and fascinated that we're just constantly growing and there's just constant interest.
Livermore requested 5 spots in every training, which is great.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Fremont has reserved 4 spots in every class. BART continues to reserve 5 spots.
We have spun off a number of other programs. The dispatcher, CIT, trainings for consumers and family members, a new mobile team that puts an officer and a clinician in the car.
Our ability to respond in the community doubled because our average call for 37C51 is 4 calls a day. CIT is great, but there are a lot of other services that are needed as well. Stabilization units, there will be more clinicians in the community. Having more comprehensive services in the county for people experiencing mental health issues would look like a community that is meeting people where they are.
This has been an effective collaboration. Things have changed. It doesn't take a lot of money, it just takes leadership and I think that forward thinking.
When I started presenting, some of the officers came up and like, your story is awesome and thank you for the work you're doing. That's when I knew right then, like, yo, this is gonna be okay. It changed me. It made me want to do it more. That made me even more excited about doing that. Once I started getting more youth involved, I'm like, yeah, this is helping the officers that are learning what to do with mental health. But I was like, what about the youth? So we set up a roundtable where 2 officers came and the youth were able to ask them questions so that they kind of get that one-on-one experience that I kind of got. They were able to see like, yeah, they got badges, but they're regular dudes too. And they started like understanding and changing their concept of some police. That felt great because that ended a lot of the, what I call the enemy stigma. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to talk to him because he's a cop.
Change can't just happen with the police department alone. The change just can't happen with families alone, or the change just can't happen with consumers alone. It takes an entire team to work on some of these issues. The police officers have been very compassionate and caring. I personally look at officers in a different light, and I know they see me in a different light. And not only am I personally healing, and police officers are healing, but also I think that our community is healing.